Mid-pandemic, my boss vanished. Just as we were gearing up for our most challenging project in 5 years, he dropped off the face of the earth. At first we managed without him. Everything was virtual, and we didn't really need him. We delegated tasks and completed work on our own, checking in with coworkers maybe twice a week. But some decisions were beyond our discretion, so we couldn't move forward on those parts of the project until we heard from him. After about a week of silence, we reached out to his boss's boss. That's when we learned our boss had COVID and couldn't work. We took that at face value, sent him well wishes, and didn't bother him with work stuff. We wondered why he could notify his boss but not us. 3 weeks passed. Still no word. We started to worry, discussing whether he might have died. We were terrified and horrified, even contemplating calling his family. We sent flowers and care packages to his apartment. Meanwhile, the project descended into chaos. No leader was appointed in his absence, forcing us to navigate layers of bureaucracy to accomplish anything. In the past, he would have just signed off on things in real time. Around week 4 or 5, one coworker suggested he might not have COVID at all, but was using it as an excuse to take time off. We jumped all over him, horrified that he would insinuate such a thing. People were chilly to him for days after that. Week 7 rolled around, and we launched a letter-writing campaign to upper management, demanding an acting boss be appointed. The project was a month behind schedule, and we were all working overtime, sometimes on weekends, without extra pay, just to keep up with the mess left by our boss's sudden absence. Finally, in week 8, he reappeared, logging into a morning meeting as if nothing had happened. He looked well-rested, well-fed, and even had a tan. Not at all like someone who had just come out of a 6-week respiratory illness. He casually mentioned, "Yeah, that was brutal. Glad to be better and back. Let's get to work," but refused to answer any of our questions about his absence. Fast forward 4 or 5 months. My sister sent me a promo for a new reality show and asked, "Isn't this guy a friend of yours? I swear I've seen him with you." I watched the trailer, and there he was, my boss, participating as a contestant on a reality TV show. It didn't take long to put the pieces together. He had taken extended leave to go on TV, knowing he wouldn't get that time off during our massive project, and lied about it under the guise of a disease that many of us had lost loved ones to. I sat with this information, unsure how to handle it. Confronting him wouldn't get me anywhere, and I didn't trust my colleagues enough to discuss it with them. After a few sleepless nights, an opportunity fell into my lap. I received an email from corporate encouraging teams to plan virtual social functions to maintain a collegial culture. Among the suggestions were game nights, trivia, and watch parties. With the show premiering soon, I started laying the groundwork for an impromptu virtual watch party. I told everyone how I'd been meaning to check out this enticing show, hoping to guilt them into joining me after hours. I even offered to get special shirts made and sent to everyone's homes. Finally, I sent an invite to all my boss's bosses and other corporate members I could justify inviting. Since this was all virtual, my boss wouldn't overhear any chatter. He had no idea I was hyping up the show or planning a watch party. I wasn't inviting him unless he explicitly asked. The night of the watch party arrived, and I was screen sharing the show to a whopping 64 people. A huge chunk of my department showed up, along with several corporate members who felt pressured to support my effort. I held my breath, hoping everything would go smoothly. Right at the outset, they introduced the premise, which included contestants in a COVID-safe bubble in an exotic location. As my boss was introduced, I could see people's expressions shift from delight and surprise to confusion and then rage. The chat took a drastic turn. One brave member of my team asked, "Wait, when was this filmed?" My audience dropped from 64 to 58, then to the mid-30s. By the end of the episode, it was just me and about 15 core team members left. When one asked if I already knew, I simply replied, "Well, I definitely do now," and wrapped up the call quickly. The best part? The show painted my boss as a bumbling idiot, showcasing his true colors in full display. He was eventually fired, and my good buddy got promoted to his position. I became an office legend, especially since no one was quite sure whether my plan was intentional. In the end, it was all so satisfying that it almost made the dozens of hours of uncompensated overtime worth it.